The 2014 International Chemistry Olympiad has been held in the Vietnamese capital city of Hanoi. The annual Olympiad, which is in its 46th year, has attracted more than 550 teachers and students from 77 countries and territories around the world. The event is a competition for high school students under 20 from all around the world with aims of promoting international contacts in chemistry. It has been organized every year since 1968, except 1971. Hosting the intellectual playground offers Vietnam chances to encourage local youth's spirit of studying in general and learning about chemistry in particular.
Hello everyone, and you're watching Sharing Vietnam on VTC10 NETVIET. The 2014 International Chemistry Olympiad has been held in Vietnam with the participation of more than 300 students from all around the world. And joining us today will be two members of the Australian team joining this Olympiad in Vietnam. And they will share with us about their experience taking part in this international competition. Please join me in welcoming Sam and Steve. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining Sharing Vietnam. First of all, would you please introduce a little bit about yourself and also the team Australia joining the International Chemistry Olympiad this time?
Okay, so there's the two of us, of course, myself and Stephen, and there are also two other members, Leo and Kevin. And so we are the four students, and we travelled here with our two mentors and two observers. They deal with sorting out the exams, making sure everything's okay for us when we sit them, and so on.
Is it your first time ever being in Vietnam, and what are your feelings?
Well, I was quite excited because it's just so different from Australia because we're very dry and everything, and the landscape in Vietnam and all the places like Ha Long Bay and Ninh Binh province, they just look so beautiful. And so I was actually really looking forward to visiting those kind of places. And also I'd heard from other people who had gone to Vietnam, I'd heard that the people were quite friendly. So that was a good thing. Yes, everyone's very nice. Even when it's trying to, you can't speak their language and trying to communicate, they're still very nice to you and always smiling. And especially our Vietnamese guides, our team guides, and the tour guides that helped us around on all the excursions. They were, very friendly people.
Well, first of all, I suppose there's a couple of temples we visited, like the Temple of Literature, and they were all very beautiful, and it's incredible to think how old they are and how well they've managed to survive. I think that was the thing that impressed me the most about those. But then I suppose there are also more modern attractions. For example, yesterday we visited a water park and Times City. So it was nice to see how you have the old parts of Vietnam, but then you also have the newer parts, and those two different aspects of the culture coexist.
Australia's such a young country. We don't have, any of these really old, just cultural, institutions and buildings and architecture and such. So we went to the pagodas in Chang'an, I think 2 days ago, and they just blew me away. They were just huge and ornate and beautiful with gold everywhere. But I think my favourite excursion we went on while we've been in Vietnam so far was in Ninh Binh, where we went on a boat tour around the rivers around Ninh Binh near Chang'an, and it looks very similar. I haven't been to Ha Long Bay, the observers did, but for the pictures I've seen, it's just as beautiful. And also there were 8 caves that we all over 100 meters long that we paddled our boats through, which was an amazing experience because it was beautiful just going inside the mountains, and yes, I loved it. It was a great experience.
So before coming to Vietnam, have you ever heard of this country, and what are the similarities and differences that you find out after coming here?
Okay, well, before coming here, I knew that there was a lot of things like lots of temples and very beautiful landscapes that we'd be able to visit. So I was looking forward to that, and my expectations were exceeded on all of those accounts. So we visited the Temple of Literature, Trang An in the Ninh Binh province, and they were all very, very beautiful. Also, I suppose the food, I'd heard a lot about the food, and that it was very, very good. And it's very different to the sort of things we normally have in Australia, but yes, I've really enjoyed the food here as well.
As the schedule, I know that you have finished both the theory and the practice part of this contest. So share with us about your performance.
I overall think that the contest this time was a bit easier than last time, and I was happy with how the exams went, I think. But it's always difficult to compare because it always depends on how everyone else does as well. So in that respect, it is difficult to compare. But I think the exams themselves this time were a bit easier, which was nice.
IChO's participating students had the chance to visit amazing places around the capital city of Vietnam, Hanoi, such as Water Park, New Sun Park Amusement Complex, Vincom Times City Mega Mall, where they explored the city's largest aquarium to date. Between the practical and the theoretical exams, participating IChO 2014 students enjoyed a relaxing day at the Vietnam's Museum of Ethnology in the hope of relaxing themselves as well as using the opportunity to learn more about Vietnam. After two tense examinations for the race of medals, participating students of IChO 2014 had a trip to Ninh Binh province to visit the landscape complex of Trang An and Bai Ding Pagoda, the biggest pagoda in Southeast Asia.
Apart from being a contest, the International Chemistry Olympiad, it's also a chance for people all around the world, students all around the world making friends. So how have you made friends up to now, and is there any Vietnamese?
Well, that's a difficult question to answer, I guess, how many, but so many people that we've met from all over the world, and all of them just from being here are of course fantastic at chemistry, but they're also really lovely people too, so it's been great getting a chance to meet them all.
Unfortunately, because there's like over almost 300 students here, unfortunately I haven't had the honour of meeting the Vietnamese team. I've met many of the guides, because all of the guides are Vietnamese, and for the other teams, especially in our bus group. The guides are all really fun and happy and telling jokes, and especially, yes, I've heard the Vietnamese team has been preparing especially hard this year because it's held in Vietnam, so I think they'll do very well.
So how have you started with chemistry and being good at this subject?
Well, ever since I was young, I've always enjoyed reading about science and maths, I suppose. And when I was just about to start high school, I started taking some classes outside of school in chemistry and maths, and I suppose that's how I first started getting interested in chemistry, and it was through those classes that I originally got introduced to the selection process for the Australian Chemistry Olympiad team. And after experiencing our selection school where the top 24 students from around Australia come together to learn chemistry and then finally take exams to select the final four, I think that's when I truly fell in love with chemistry.
What do you like the most about chemistry?
It's hard to say, I guess. I mean, I like it because it's a science and I like all the sciences, but chemistry in particular, I think the people I've met involved with chemistry, like our mentors and the other students, they've all been really inspiring, and I think that's one of the reasons perhaps why I find chemistry particularly so fascinating.
Share with the Vietnamese some of your tips to be good at chemistry.
I guess just be curious. It really helps if, for me, I wasn't really working on my chemistry. I just kept reading because I was fascinated by it, and it was just so interesting to me to find out how everything worked, how chemistry worked, and I guess if you like what you're doing, it's not really work. You just it's kind of a hobby. Just it becomes fun, basically, and especially with the practical work. I think that's a lot of fun because it's not just words written down on the book. It's actually seeing that these things are real, and that's how things actually work. And also, it is a lot of fun making all the pretty crystals and such. So,
what do you think if in the future Vietnam and Australia will have more cooperation, not only in studying but also doing research in chemistry?
Definitely. In the preparatory problems for this Olympiad, there was a lot of the problems were related to research that's being done in Vietnam, and I think it would be very interesting if you could have that cooperation between the research in Vietnam, which looks very interesting, and what's going on in Australian chemistry research. So I think a link like that would be very valuable.
If you have to choose some words to talk about Vietnam, to describe about Vietnam and your experience, what are they?
Fascinating, definitely. It's a very big culture shock for us. Kind of just, impressive and magnificent when we're going to places such as the Three Pagodas and Ninh Binh province. Just blown away by the scenery and the architecture and the buildings and such. And also very friendly, I must say. Especially, I've been to other countries, and I think Vietnam, the people are especially friendly.
Words to describe Vietnam, I think probably beautiful and very happy. All the people here are always smiling, always willing to help out, and just generally happy.
Once again, thank you so much, Sam and Steve, for joining Sharing Vietnam, and we hope that you have a great performance and great experience here.
That's okay. Thank you very much for organising all of this. It's been really nice.
It's been lovely.
That's all we have for today's program. Thank you so much for watching Sharing Vietnam at 8:30 p.m. on VTC10 NETVIET. We hope that next time we will bring to you another wonderful episode of Sharing Vietnam. Thank you so much and see you next time.